Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel. It's Damian Ify here with a real talk this week. And this week we're just bringing some practical tips on how to love your spouse, just practically every day, really. The kind of things that we have adopted, we've learned and adopted and we practice in our marriage in order to just make sure that we are loving each other the way God will have us every day. So that it's a daily work, it's something you do as a daily practice and it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And really, we have a few tips for you. The first one will be prioritizing.
Yeah.
So I think this kind of ties in with all the other videos that we done.
Yeah.
And it's that really in marriage, after God, it has to be your spouse. It has to be your spouse. Your spouse has to be your priority. And this is a choice you have to make daily, really, because with the million and one things that will vie for your attention, that will pull at you, your career, your work, your parents, your siblings, your children, with the million and one things that really do fight for our attention, we have to daily choose to make one another the priority. It's practical in practical ways, like your spouse needs you and then I don't know, your mom's calling you on the phone. what do you do? Do you answer the phone call or do you pay attention to your spouse right then and then sit to the phone call later on? I would suggest that really paying attention to your spouse and their need at that time point is the thing to do. And these are daily choices. It's your husband needs you and your child needs you. Which one do you choose? Now, if the child's at risk, please pay attention to your child. But if the child's not at risk and they're just vying for attention, and your husband's also, your wife's also vying for attention, you've got to be deliberate to prioritize each other first. And it's really, like we said, it's a daily choice because the children, they are temporary assignments. The parents, they're doing their own thing. It's your spouse that you're committed to for life. So they are your lifelong assignment. So you do have to prioritize each other. And when making them your priority, that means you're going to have to sacrifice, right? It's inevitable if you're going to daily choose to prioritize your spouse, then that means there are certain things you're going to have to give up. There are times when, in order for you to prioritize me and then our kids, you've had to not watch some football matches, for example. I mean, that's the kind of one I can think of right this minute. He's an Arsenal fan. And there's been some occasions where I have planned some family event or whatever. And of course I haven't asked if there's a football match because I didn't think to ask. My bad. And really, for you to prioritize kind of my need for us to go out as a family, you haven't been like, there's a football match, let's postpone it. You've gone and we've had a great time. And there are practical other ways, like your career. You gotta have to make sometimes sacrifices that's career related. One recent one will be this whole COVID business. There's a huge research grant that I could have gone for, but in order to prioritize your need and you not feeling comfortable with me taking on a high risk research, you weren't comfortable with it. Because of that, I didn't apply for the grant in order to make sure that you feel like you're being heard. And you, of course, you're trying to protect me, but of course some of us, we're pushing for careers. But in order for me to prioritize you, I had to listen and hear you, and then I had to sacrifice this need to pursue this high risk, but probably going to be highly rewarding research. And it's this kind of sacrificing, and it's this daily choices to just prioritize your spouse and their needs and their well-being, and then with that will come sacrifice. Isn't it, babe?
Oh yes, it is. Another one I would say would be pursuit.
Pursue, you gotta pursue.
You gotta have to, so you just remember the time that when we're dating, I was chasing.
You hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
So because you get married, it's completely different. They think, oh yeah, I'm not gonna pursue my wife.
The chase is different.
Yeah, the chase is different, but you still have to still chase your wife. It's just simple. If she is at work, like or your spouse is at work, it's just ensuring just checking up on your spouse every time to
Did
say,
you get to work safely?
oh yes, that's what we do all the time. We just send each other WhatsApp messages to say, hey, I got to work safely, everything okay, have a nice day. And if you're having a rough day, just send the wife or your spouse a message. Or if she had a big meeting coming up, or the spouse has a big meeting coming up, and your spouse says it's 11 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock, you're sending a message before then, thinking about you. After the meeting, sending a message, say, how did the meeting go? Give me a call.
Just being mindful.
Those are the kind of things that you just ensure that you're just chasing, and your spouse will realize, okay, yeah, he's thinking or she's thinking about me.
The one thing that my husband does that I quite like, he's a note writer, so he will leave like little notes in my laptop or in my wallet, on my bedside table, on my Bible, just little notes, just randomly. They're not always at predictable moments, which is what I actually really like. I can't predict when he's gonna write his next notes, but that's really sweet because I have a bedside table full of just gorgeous notes that you look back over, you look at the nice things that he's written. I am not a write note person. I'm sorry. He's a write sweet note person. I'm an act of service girl, and unfortunately, I tend to want to love him the way I like to be loved, which is act of service. But I'm learning to give him words of affirmation, which is what he likes. But yeah, those are the ways that you actually do it that I really love.
Yeah.
So with pursuing comes
sharing. With sharing and being transparent. Yeah. So you're just not sharing emotionally, physically, your finances. It's not that you have a different account another place.
It's the hiding of the payslip, right? It's the hiding and not kind of being transparent about everything to do with your life.
Yeah, so that is because finance is I would say it's a different topic on it. So
it's a different topic that we're not even going to go into. But we're talking practical ways to love each other every day. Yeah. And with that comes sharing. You've got to share your daily life, your challenges, your joy, your victories, your sadness. You've got to share it with one another, and it's going to be a daily thing. Yeah. Right? Yeah, it's got to be a daily sharing of the joys and the struggles, but with that comes you have of course you need to be in a safe environment, in an environment where you can be vulnerable to share those joys and those victories. So that comes back to all the previous videos we did on connecting with one another. If you have all of those basic foundation in place, then sharing with one another on a daily basis shouldn't be difficult, should it?
No, it shouldn't. Yeah. No, I would say, well, it shouldn't if you put, as you say, if you practice it daily. Yeah. Yeah. Where the challenge comes is if you don't.
Yeah. If you don't practice it, and this love business and this marriage business, it's a daily act. It's a daily choice. Yeah. It's daily choosing one another, and it's daily doing those small and big things to just prioritize one another, to sacrifice for one another, to pursue one another, and to just share. There can't be a me and you. It has to be a we and us.
Yes. Yeah.
In order for you to just be living that life of love, that life that really honors God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Mine. It's ours because it's what you put in. During the days of challenges, because challenges are going to come in marriage, so whatever you put in will be able to withstand those challenges together and trust each other when those challenges come, because there'll always be challenges in marriage. So but that's what I would say as we're rounding up. One thing that always comes to mind is if when we go to bed, right, or during the day, the spouse that we chose, if we look around, our parents, we don't choose them, our siblings, we don't choose them. Our children, we don't choose them. All of them would still, our parents are in their own places, their children, our siblings, they are all with their spouses. Our children will leave and go to their own spouse at one time. So we are left with each other's husband and wife. So it's our responsibility right now to ensure that we put in the work right now. It's not when the children are 18 then you start putting in the work.
No, make the investment now to